Kamusta mga katribo? Welcome to Stock Market 101. Simulan natin sa basics. So, tara! Samahan niyo ako. So, sa lahat naman ng mga ginagawa natin, no, simulan tayo sa basic. No? Bago tayo pumunta sa stock market, mag-define muna tayo ng mga terms. Warning, some terms may cause nosebleeding and confusion. Joke lang. Pero if you don't get it the first time, pwede naman natin itong ulitin to better grasp the concept. Mas maganda na meron tayong solid foundation sa basics para magamit na natin sa mga susunod na lessons. Securities. These are the types of investments that allow you to own things without physically holding on to them. Example nito yung mga stocks or yung bonds. So, ano naman yung stocks at bonds? Stocks are basically a piece of the corporation issued through shares. So, pag bumili ka ng shares ng isang company, congrats! Shareholder ka na ng company. Pa, part owner na ako ni Jollibee. Ang bonds naman ay isang loan investment, which means na nagpapahiram ka ng pera sa isang institution like company or government. Ngayon, ano naman ang stock market? The stock market is a marketplace where you can buy and sell stocks. And sa Pilipinas, meron tayong Philippine Stock Exchange where you can buy and sell Philippine company stocks. Open ng PSE from 9:30 to 3:30 with breaks of 12 to 1:30. Update lang, since ngayon we are in the pandemic as of this time na nagre-record ng video na to, the stock market is open from 9:30 to 1 p.m. Walang break. Meron tayong iba-ibang securities na pwede nating i-buy and sell sa stock market. Una dito yung common stocks, no? So, basahin ko na lang Common stocks are usually purchased for participation in profits and in control, ownership, and management of the company. Stockholders are granted voting rights during annual or special stockholders meeting but can only claim rights to the company's assets and earnings when preferred shareholders are already paid in full. So nakapila sila after ng preferred. Most of the issues traded in the local stock markets are common stock exchange. So mga example nito is meron tayong JFC, PLDT, Globe, so Pure Gold, so yun yung mga types ng common stocks. Another type of security na pwedeng i-trade sa Philippine Stock Exchange is yung mga preferred stocks, no? So basahin ko lang ulit. These are known as preference shares. This is where the holder has a higher claim on the assets and earnings of the companies through a dividend payment and liquidation. Preferred shareholders have priority over common stockholders. They do not have voting rights, but dividends are paid out to them before dividends to the common stockholders. So, yun, nauna nga sila. Preferred stocks usually have a specified limited rate of return per dividend and a specified limit redemption and liquidation price. So, examples nito yung mga Ayala Preferred B, Petron Corporation Preferred A, yan yung mga samples niyan. Basta may preferred dun sa gilid. Another type of security is the warrants. No? It's a security that entitles the holder to have the right but not have the obligation to buy and sell a security at a certain price called exercise price or a strike price before the expiry date. Ang gulo! Okay, so para lang itong kontrata nakalagay yung presyo granting the holder of the warrant the right to buy and sell before the expiry date. O, diba? Tinagalog ko lang. Honestly, I don't have any experience yet buying these off the market, but good to know na nag-exist sila. So, another type is Philippine Deposit Receipts or PDRs. It is a security that grants the holder the right to the delivery of the sale of the underlying shares. They are not evidences of statements nor certificates of ownership in a corporation. Okay, so going back, meron tayong last type. Ito yung tinatawag na Small Denominated Treasury Bonds or SDT bonds. These are long-term and relatively risk-free, relatively debt securities issued by the Bureau of Treasuries or yung BTR of the Republic of the Philippines. This bond is a certificate of indebtedness of the Republic of the Philippines to the owner of the bonds. So, yun nga, parang nagpautang ka, tapos meron kang certificate na nagpautang ka sa gobyerno. Paano ba talaga kumita sa stock market? How can I earn from the stock market? So ngayon pag-usapan naman natin yung different ways to earn in the stock market. So madami yan Capital gains. this is the most common kasi this is the profits from an increase of the stock price from its buying price. So ito yung gain mo pag binili mo si Jollibee ng 1 peso per share and then tumaas yung share niya into 2 pesos. The difference is your gain. So 1 peso yung gain mo, so yun yung tinatawag na capital gain. Note lang na kailangan mong ibenta yung shares na yon in order for you to realize the gains. Otherwise, pwede pa itong magbago depende sa galaw ng presyo. Another way of earning through the stock market is through dividends. Ito yung portion of the company's earning decided by the board of directors, paid to the shareholders. So, kung maganda yung kitaan ng company, meron kang biyaya. So, meron kang parte doon. So, yung binibigay nilang dividend could be in the form of cash, or more shares, or other properties. Kung cash ang bibigay, depende ito sa percentage ng hawak mong price. So, syempre, example, kung kay Jollibee, meron kang, let's say, 100 shares of 1 peso each, and may dividend sila na 0.01 per share. Meron kang additional nakita from the dividends, which is 10 pesos. So, ginawa lang natin is 100 shares times 0.01 na dividend per share. So, in effect, naging 110 na yung 100 pesos mong investment. Diba ang saya? Kung stock dividends naman, same concept ng cash except shares ang bibigyan nila sa'yo. For example, okay, balik tayo. Meron silang binibigay na 0.1 shares per share na hawak. So, dagdag na 0.1 shares sa isang share. So, kung may 100 shares ka, magiging 110 yung shares mo. Okay? Iba yan eh. So, 110 yung shares. Yung presyo, depende pa yan kung magkano yung sa stock market. Basta meron kang 110 na shares. So, for example, meron kang 110 shares tapos naging 2 pesos yung Jollibee price per share niya, no? So, ang total na hawak mong pera is 110 na stocks or shares times 2, which is 220 pesos na. So, okay din. Kung property shares naman, again, same concept, pero property ang paghati-hatian. So yung pinto, sa kanilang bintana. Joke lang. So, ano ba ang mga important dates regarding the dividends? Meron tayong kasing tinatawag na declaration date. Ito yung anunsyo pa lamang na magkakaroon ng dividends. Hindi pa to yung mismong bigayan ng dividends. So, declaration lang to. So, meron tayong X date or yung X dividend date. Okay, hindi ito yung date ng X mo. Ito yung parang deadline kung saan mapapasama ka sa eligible na pwede magkaroon ng dividends, no? So, kung bukas yung X date at meron kang hawak na shares ngayon at hindi mo binenta, bukas, eligible ka sa dividends. Ngayon, kapag meron ka naman ito ngayon, tapos bukas yung X date at binenta mo sa X date mismo, hindi ka na magkakaroon ng dividends. So, hindi ka nakasali. Same din kapag bumili ka sa X date, kailangan hawak mo siya bago mag-X date. Okay? Payment date. Dito na magkakabigayan ng dividends. Kaliwaan. So, everybody happy. Dividend yield. So, ano naman to? Ito yung percentage lang kung ilan yung dividend. So, compared sa stock price. So, for example, meron kang Jollibee na at 1 peso each, no? So, ang dividend niya ay 0.1 per share. So, meron kang 10% na yield. Stock rights offering. Ito naman yung option presented to the shareholders to purchase additional shares at a lower price. Discounted at exclusive lang sa inyo yun. May mga knowledge na tayo. I'm ready to start trading the stock market. What do I do next? Hop. Meron ka pang ibang kailangang malaman bago ka pa makabenta at makabili sa stock market. There are 4 steps you need to know before you start buying and selling stock in the stock market, no? Step 1. To participate in the stock market, you need a broker, syempre, where you can actually buy and shares from. A stockbroker is a person or a corporation authorized and licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Later on, di-discuss natin kung ano bang dapat tignan when choosing a broker. Step 2. Apply for an account to your chosen broker. Siyempre, mag-a-apply tayo, no? You will need to submit different forms and identification for verification. In case for online brokers, you can start trading after you transfer your fund to your account, no? So, mostly ngayon yung mga brokers is online application na. Step 3. Siyempre, popondohan natin yung account. Fund your account. Iba-iba ang paraan to fund your account. Merong check payables or depositing cash. Pero madalas na ngayon, pwede na mag-online eh. You know, ta-transfer mo na lang doon sa bangko ng broker mo and then mag-credit na sa'yo agad-agad. So, good to go na yun. Step 4, go and execute those ideas. Now, pwede na tayong bumili at magbenta ng stock of your choice. So, sabi ko nga kanina, meron tayong criteria in choosing a broker. So, here are the 5 things to consider when choosing a stockbroker. Kailangan stable, hindi ganid, madaling pakisamahan, matalino, mabait. Ay, ano bang pinag-usapan natin? Akala ko katangian ng mahal mo sa buhay. Stockbroker pala. Ang hinahanap natin is what makes a good stockbroker good. Importante kasi ang stockbroker kasi kung wala to, hindi tayo makapag-trade, syempre. Also, importante din na pumili tayo ng magandang broker kasi sila yung nag-handle ng money natin. So, your cash. So, imagine if naging bankrupt or yung broker natin, kasama dun yung pera natin and ayaw natin na mangyayari yun. So, meron tayong 5 criteria to check if okay nga ba itong broker na gusto nating piliin. Number 1, broker's commission. Whenever you buy or sell stocks, you pay a certain fee to the stockbroker. Naturally, the lower the fees, the less you pay. Which means na you get to retain more cash. Broker's commission is something you pay regardless if you make a profit or loss in stock trading. So sa Pilipinas, based sa research, almost all of the stockbrokers currently have 0.25 broker's commission, 0.25%. Medyo they are pretty much comparable in this regard. So on the other hand, other brokers offer life assistance and personal account handler. Therefore, mas mataas yung rates, no? Second quality is stability and speed of trading platform. A stable trading platform is critical because a platform's downtime could spell huge losses, especially during times of trading volatility. Imagine gusto mong magbenta ng stock pero hindi ka makabenta kasi nga hindi mo ma-access or unable to process the order. So, importante na malaman natin if paano hinahandle ng broker natin ito. Medyo madalas kasi itong mangyari lalo na if volatile yung stock market at hindi kinakaya ng broker to serve all the traders. Ang ending, pwede kang maiwan sa bentahan at mawala yung mga gains mo or at the worst, matalo ka pa or mag-loss ka pa or pwedeng hindi ka din makabili sa mga stocks na gusto mong bilhin at nag-take off na, naiwanan ka. So, important na malaman mo if stable ba sila or hindi. One way to know if stable sila during those times is ask other traders, no, kung ano yung experience sila during those critical moments. One good thing though is most brokers offer an alternative, no? In case of website access problems, they can give you a contact number which allows you to talk to a live broker who can execute your trades, no? And of course, kakain pa rin to ng oras natin na sana tayo na lang yung nag-execute ng trades. Aside from website stability, kailangan din medyo mabilis yung pag-load and execute ng trades natin sa mga brokers natin. Prices may change in a split second. If it takes time to load before the page loads or your trade is processed, the price may have already changed and trade may not go through. So, hindi siya pumasok. Third na hinanap natin sa isang good stockbroker is ease of funding and withdrawing of your account. So, another critical factor to Siyempre, gaano ba kadali mag-withdraw and also gaano kadali mag-fund ng account mo. Look for brokers that have partnership with local banks. This will enable you to make easy fund transfers, no? Sometimes even through online banking. Some brokers, however, only accept cash or check payments. So, check nyo na lang din sila. Do note that withdrawals take typically 1 to 3 days before the cash is transferred to your account or a check is made payable to you. Number 4, nakatangian ng isang good broker is stock researches and trading tools. A few brokers offer free stock researches and reports. These reports give tips and recommendations helping you to make informed decisions when trading stocks, no? They are useful in providing guidance with your trades. Caveat lang na not all reports are accurate, no? And might not fit your trading style and plan. If you are into short-term trading and you want to use technical analysis, a good charting platform will help you make better decisions. Pwede din ito maging criteria when choosing a broker. Magandang trading tool din is yung mga bagong brokers ngayon is they have the capacity to accept orders or executions at a certain level, no? For example, meron itong auto stop loss na pag nilagay mo yung presyo at a certain price, pag pumunta din yung price, auto kakat na siya kahit hindi mo pa in-execute by yourself, no? So, maganda rin itong maging criteria in finding a good broker. Number 5, nakatangian ng isang good stockbroker is customer support, no? Ito, personally, for me, is very important. Kasi, if you have issues with your trades, or your questions about your account, mas mabuti meron kang makakausap na customer support that will help you, no? Bonus na lang if they are easily contactable via email or via phone, and mas maganda din if they respond quickly with a sense of urgency. Okay, so ready na ba kayo to choose your broker? So, ito yung mga list ng brokers sa Pilipinas, no? Below here is a list of 13 most popular online stock brokerage firms in the country. Their broker's commission, nakalagay din dyan, the minimum amount needed to open an account, and funding options offered by each broker, no? Pause nyo na lang yung video to read them, and also don't forget to verify dun sa broker na pinili nyo kasi baka magbago ito from the time this video has been posted. All online brokers in the Philippines offer the same commission charge, 0.25%. If you want to open an account, no, the minimum amount varies per broker, no? Sa BPI Trade, wala yata tong minimum amount required, but you need to fund your account before trading it, of course. BPI Trade is linked to BPI and BPI Family, which makes it easier to transfer and withdraw funds through your brokerage account, no? Ang Ping, Accord, CitySec Online or Call offer a basic account for only 5,000 pesos, no? Ang Ping securities require a minimum of 5,000 for students, while for professionals, the minimum is 15,000. Call starter pack is 5,000, but the minimum needed to open a Call Plus account is 25,000. So yung ibang brokers nagva-vary from 10,000 to 100,000. Most brokers have partnership with largest banks in the country that makes funding and withdrawal very convenient, although it usually takes up to 3 days, before you can withdraw your account and be transferred to your bank. So mapunta naman tayo sa iba-ibang stock trading orders, no? What are the different types of stock trading orders? When buying and selling stocks, may iba-iba tayong ways to enter into a trade. The first and common is the market order, no? Ano ba yung market order? Market order is the stock trading order to buy and sell immediately at the best available price. Price executed at market order is completed at the current price level. Note that there might be a difference between the time the trade is entered and the time that the order is executed, no? Magkaiba yon. So for example, you called your live broker, so medyo tumawag ka pa, to purchase 100 Jollibee stocks at 1 peso each. By the time na na-execute ng broker mo yung trade, naging 105 na siya. So na-execute yung order mo into 105. So better talaga na magkaroon ng broker na ma-execute agad at the current level. Limit order. So ano ba ang limit order? A limit order sets the minimum or maximum price at which you are willing to buy or sell a stock, no? For example, meron kang Jollibee shares, no? JFC shares at 1 peso each. Gusto mong protect yung capital mo. Maglalagay ka ngayon ng sell order at sa baba nung kung saan mo binili, no? So 0.95 for example. In the event na bumaba yung price at 0.95, your trade will be executed and your shares will be sold if may nagmatch sa buyers. Yun yung pababa. So kung pataas naman, for example, kung gusto mong bumili at a higher price, okay, yes, logical, gawin yung ginagawa yon. Pwede kang mag-set ng buy order at a higher price para pag umabot dun yung price mo, ma-execute yung order mo. So meron tayong tinatawag na all or none order. If you want to minimize transaction fees or ensure all stocks are bought in a single price, so isang bultuhan, you may want to place an all or none order. This order allows you to get either the entire quantity of the stock you requested or none at all. It instructs your broker to execute the trade unless it will be done in a single transaction. So isang bultuhan. Day order. A day order is a stock trading order valid for a day. So para lang siyang limit order na nilagay mo during the day. If it's not executed during the day, mag-expire siya at magiging invalid na siya on the next trading day. So meron din tayong tinatawag na good till canceled order or GTC. So as opposed to the day order, a GTC remains open in the succeeding trades until executed or canceled, no? Sa Pilipinas, ang GTC orders usually automatically expires after 7 days, no? So para din siyang weekly GTC. So pwede nating tawagin yung ganon. In the US, GTC orders remain open until 60 calendar days have passed. No? So exercise with caution lang tayo when using GTC orders kasi baka makalimutan natin na may orders pala tayo and get executed in the process. Punta naman tayo dun sa stock fees, taxes, and charges in the PSE, no? Meron tayong iba-ibang fees pag bumibili tayo at nagbebenta tayo ng stock, no? Una dito yung brokerage commission fee. We use live or online brokers to help facilitate the buying and selling of stocks. They make money from commissions charged for your every trade. Remember, the more trades you do with them, even if the transaction is sold at a loss, kung lugi ka or palugi, they get to earn their commission from the trade. So, ang panalo talaga dito is yung broker. So, be wary lang if they keep on telling you to trade even though you're not comfortable with the transaction. Commissions may vary per broker, but the maximum rate they can charge is 1.5% of the transaction or a fixed minimum of 20 pesos, whichever is higher. The transaction is also charged an additional 12% VAT. So, on top of that. SCCP or clearing fee. If bumili ka ng stock, kailangan mo magbayad in return of ownership of the stock, no? There is an agency that facilitates the proper stock clearing and settlement. In simple terms, they ensure the payment as the buyer goes to the seller of the stock and the stock is properly transferred to your name. This agency is called Securities Clearing Corporation of the Philippines, or SCCP, a wholly owned subsidiary of the PSE, Philippine Stock Exchange. Their role is to synchronize transfer of funds and securities to the owner. The stock seller, through their broker naman, must deliver the securities to the SCCP, and once the security is properly transferred, the SCCP transmits the funds to them as a payment for the sale, but they are charged 0.01% of the transaction amount. No, later on, isa-isay natin yung mga fees, magko-compute tayo. The next fee is the PSE transaction fee. So, the Philippine Stock Exchange charges 0.005% of the gross trade amount for every stock transaction. Okay, meron pa tayo. May madaming pang fees. Stock transaction or sales tax, no? The government also earns money from stock trading transactions by charging 0.5% whenever a stock selling transaction is made. Take note, sa stock selling lang ito, hindi ito sa buying. This will be charged kahit na binenta mo ng palugi. So, broker fee, clearing fee, transaction fee, sales tax, grabe. Ang dami, no? Parang ayaw mo na mag-trade. Huwag ka mag-alala, kung di mo naman kailangan i-compute yan, automatic na yan kinakalculate sa broker mo, no? Most of the time, pag bumili ka ng stock, makikita mo lugi ka kaagad, no? So, importante na i-consider mo tong fees pag bumibili ka ng stock, no? So, in summary, pag bibili ka ng stock, may mga fees yan, and pag bibenta ka ng stock, may fees din yan. Meron tayong tinatawag na break-even point, no? So, how much should the stock price rise to, to have your profit? If we consider the fees, kailangan mo munang umangat yung stock around 1.20% para nasa break-even point ka na, no? So, ito yung computation pag bumibili ka. So, ito naman yung computation kapag nagbibenta ka. So, ang total niyan kapag ka nagbenta ka is 1.20% times the total amount na binibili mo. So, combined commissions na yan to break even, no? So, narinig nyo na ba yung penny stocks at saka yung blue chips? So, ano ba yung pagkakaiba nun? So, simulan muna natin yung company fundamentals, no? Pag sinabing company fundamentals, ito yung financial information and management commentary as reported quarterly or annually. Kasama dito yung mga press releases or yung other public materials. Kasama din dito yung mga anecdotal reports from customers and suppliers as well as general information of the company's product markets. Yung technical information based on the stock prices and trading volume is not considered part of the fundamentals. Ano naman ang liquidity? Ito yung hindi solid. Okay, last na yon. Ang liquidity naman refers to the degree which an asset can be quickly traded in the market without affecting the asset's price, no? So halimbawa, meron kang 1 million shares of the company ABC at 5 pesos each. Liquid ang stock na ito kapag kaya mo agad ito ibenta or ma-absorb ng market without changing its price, no? Pero kung walang demand or walang liquidity, hindi mo ito maibenta sa desired price mo unless ibenta mo ito ng mas mura, which changes the market price already. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa market capitalization. Ang market capitalization or market cap is the market value of the company measured by its stock price and total outstanding shares. Multiply lang natin yung current trade price niya and the total outstanding shares. So, makakuha mo yung market cap na yun. Dito mo ngayon masasabi kung ano ang penny at ano ang blue chips, no? Penny stocks kasi slang term to, which means na barya-barya lang yan, no? Blue chips naman, term to from poker, which means the highest value. So, if we look at this graph, ang mga penny stocks ay ang mga mabababang market capitalization. Pwede din itong i-classify between fourth liners, third liners, at second liners, no? So, fourth liners, company fundamentals is weak and low liquidity. Usually, mga nasa less than 3 billion yung market cap neto. Sa third liners naman is okay yung company fundamentals and so-so yung liquidity. So, nasa 3 billion to 100 billion ang market cap nila. Sa second liners naman, maganda ang company fundamentals, solid, and maganda din ang liquidity, liquid. So, nasa 100 to 200 billion ang market cap nito. Sa blue chips naman, solid ang fundamentals at kayang-kayang i-absorb ang liquidity, no? Very liquid siya. Nasa 200 billion mahigit ang market cap nila. Woo! So, pasensya na kayo ha, hindi ko kayo na-warningan na medyo jam-pack tong stock market 101 natin. Pero simula pa lang to, no? Napakaganda ng journey ahead of you. So, sit back and stay tuned. Tuloy-tuloy lang tayo sa susunod na video. So, paalam!